Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ramaila, and on this channel it's all about learning, growth and contribution. So today is all about talking money. Thank you so much for a friend of mine that had requested this video, and basically I've been getting this question a lot about like how do you manage your finances being a young professional, also being on the verge of being a proper wife. I say proper wife because I did things backwards, right? It was first the lobola and then the ring and then the wedding. So I'm a fiance wife, and then also being a young mom and also being a street mom. No, I'm kidding, don't quote me. I'm not a street mom, but I also find a way to balance my work life as well as my family life as well as my social life. So in order to do that, it doesn't come easy. It comes with a lot of planning. It comes with a lot of understanding your finances and knowing when to say no. And so today I'll be talking about how to do your budget in a month, and I hope you can stay tuned with me. Don't forget to like, to comment, to share and to subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so because this is like a very important thing for me, I don't want to miss any important things to talk about. So I have my laptop in front of me. If I have a tendency of looking down, understand that I'm trying to like read as much as I can from here. So for me to start my budgeting process, I started working in the year 2020. I feel like by the time you guys watch every video, I quote the fact that I started working in 2020. And the reason why I emphasize that is I want you to know that sometimes money is a lesson. Money is also a lifelong learning thing where it flows in and it flows out, and it's a situation of trial and error until you find that balance of I'm comfortable with my finances and what I'm doing. So I'm new to money, when I'm talking about my budget to money, I'm talking about the new ways of budgeting. And when I started working in 2020, I actually reached out to get financial advice as to how to handle my finances, because I've explained before that in 2020, it was locked down. We were all at home. I had so much money. I wasn't going anywhere. We weren't doing anything. So I felt like I was a millionaire, man. I just felt like my salary is sitting in the bank and I don't know what to do with it. And I know money sitting in the bank can't be an amazing thing. Like surely for it to grow, I need to start investing. So I started reaching out for financial advice, and then I got advice from a financial advisor. And just a young disclaimer, although I am almost a CASA, a CASA, I am not a financial advisor. So everything that I'm saying is to my experience and to what I feel could be something that you can consider in your financial journey. When I started my financial advice journey, what I was encouraged to do was to actually print out my 3-month bank statement. And then from my 3-month bank statements, I could be able to identify all the expenses that I'm engaging in. And to be honest with you, I don't know, man, that's a very difficult exercise to actually confront and to see the manuals that you're doing in the month is not actually a nice thing to do, but to actually face the things that you are doing in the month might be a bit overwhelming. It can also be a bit saddening to see how you are wasting money. So the first step was to print that 3-month bank statements, and I took a green highlighter, a red highlighter, and an orange highlighter. And I mentioned these colors because it's very important. With the red highlighter, I had to highlight every expense that was an essential expense. And when I say essential expense, I mean things like petrol, things like my helper at that time, things like putting away money for Zoe in the month. Those were what I call essential expenses. These are non-negotiable expenses that for sure I need every month and I can't be flex with. I know these things I need to incur. That was my red highlighter. With my orange highlighter, it was it was those expenses that were a bit tricky, right? They had a lot of leisure in them, a lot of friendship time, a lot of let's go out for drinks, let's do coffee, where we going tonight, it's that kind of money. And I won't lie, the orange highlighter was a lot on my paper. Like now that I look back at this experience, my orange highlighter was almost running out on 3-month bank statements. It wasn't a great look. Okay, so then my green highlighter was actually for money coming in. So that is my salary, Those are my side businesses. Like, yeah, man, me, I'm a side business kind of girl. Like I said, 7 streams of income is what I believe in. So let's just get into this video, right? So I'm gonna put on my glasses because I can't see. Like, my ring light is gonna be reflecting on my glasses, but twing, girls with 4 eyes rock. Okay, so how I went about with my budget, I started with my monthly income and I highlighted that in green on my Excel sheet. I use Excel for like literally everything. I think now that I'm in corporate, I never used to be a fan of Excel, but Excel was a lifesaver for me because I was not having time to be calculating physically, right? So I have my Excel sheet and I had my monthly income, and then the first thing that I needed to deduct from my monthly income were my actual monthly expenses. Now, I gave you examples of some essential expenses that I had, but others included, for example, my grocery, my electricity, my DSTV, my internet, my gym, my Netflix. Hey guys, why do I have so many essential expenses? Maria, they are lots. One big expense is my rates and taxes as well as my levies. So if you haven't watched my video about purchasing a house, those can be quite pricey if you are living in a fancy area, you know, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And then I also have my investments. I know these are not necessarily expenses, but I put them in my essential expenses because for me to put away money every month is an essential expense for me. The wording is a bit tricky, but this is an investment in actual sense, but I just put it under that category. And then after that, I would total how much my essential expenses are, and then I'll deduct that from my monthly income and see what my new subtotal is. After that, it is my leisure expenses. You know, all those oranges that need to reduce. It's those ones. So for me, this changes every month. I mean, it can't be rigid. It can't be something that, I don't know. I don't want to limit myself to say go out with your friends once in the month, you know, do what works. But this leisure one is the one where you kind of have to be compromising. Like, is it really necessary for you to be going to events every month? To be having coffee every day? Like, things like that, no. So here, these fluctuate. I won't mention all my leisure ones. Like, by example, I'll have a friend dinner there. I had like a personal event that I had for myself and I included that in there. I also have my bank charges. I don't know why I have my bank charges under leisure, but they probably should go under essential. But for now, they're sitting under leisure. And then also things like my gym products, I also put them under leisure because I think certain months when I really do not have the time to work out, I would rather compromise on my health products, and then I would like really try and eat as healthy as I can, but in a way that makes sense for that month, but not every month, right? Leisure, flexible. And then after that, I would total my leisure expenses and then deduct that from that subtotal before. And then the one thing that I found out about saving or actually doing your budgeting is always having an emergency fund. Now, the logic with an emergency fund is that it needs to be 3 times your salary. And just to give you a simple example, if you are earning, let's say 10 Rand, in your emergency fund, you need to be having 30 Rand in there. Now, this is small monies that I'm making an example with, right? If you had to take your actual salary right now and multiply that by 3, that is what should be sitting in your emergency fund. And in your emergency fund, it's important to have that because in an instance where we are getting retrenched because of COVID, or maybe a family member falls ill, or maybe you really have to like pay for your tires, I don't know, even pay your petrol, guys. I don't know what's going on with the price of petrol, but at this point I'm about to go into my emergency fund to start paying for my petrol. But things like that are a real thing. Things like that are reality. So to have 3 times your salary on standby is what you should be having. And I feel like you can't be flex with your emergency fund because you never know what could happen. So it's important to make sure that even if you had to have an emergency, you need to take it back to make sure that you are in the range of 3 times your salary. And then after taking away your money for your emergency fund, your subtotal should be looking very tricky. If it's not 0, it should be minus. But in an instance, let's say you are making real money, right? And it's not sitting at a 0 or a negative, then you should have like some surplus money, and in your surplus money you want to play around, either put into your leisure fund. You can now go to more events, or you could even do better, put some money in your investment account, or also put it in your emergency fund, whatever works for you, but making sure that you're not like wasting money. And the most important part about budgeting is actually being consistent with your budget and checking up on your budget. Now, people do the budget in the month. People is me, I am people, right? I do my budget in the beginning of the month where I deduct all my expenses, and then I start off so strong, and then like 10 days in the month I just stop. I don't know if I stop because I get lazy, or I stop because I know I'm already out of budget, but it's very good for you to also track your expenses in the month and make sure that you are sticking to your budget. So if you don't have like a banking app, now is a good time to download that app and maybe delete an Instagram or a Facebook or something. Delete an unnecessary app and get your banking app, and make sure every time you are swiping that card, you are coming back to your Excel sheet and you're adding a column next to your budget so that you can see your actual versus your budget, if it's actually working out. Because the thing with that is that if your budget is too strict, you can't change it, right? This budget is not fixed. It's not like somebody's going to give you ticks and crosses if you're not doing it right. It's trial and error. Like I said, everybody's financial journey is different, but if you want to improve the quality of your life, money shouldn't be something that you worry about on a daily. It shouldn't be something that puts you in misery when you're trying to have a good time, but you think, oh no, I can't because I don't have money. If this is any way to live, is to also make sure that you are having this very good planning tool in your life so that you can improve the quality of your life. And like I said, it's all about learning here, it's all about growth, it's all about contributing. You can also teach somebody on how to budget. And if you would like to see my budget template, I actually share this with a bunch of people that actually ask me. Just comment down below with your name and your name and your email address. Is that too personal? Might be too personal. Slide in the DMs on my socials. On Instagram, I am ELLE_Ramaila. On Facebook, I'm Ramaila. Just send me your name and your email address, and I will send you this budget template. But I hope this was able to help you in your future endeavors of enjoying a good financially planned life and making sound financial decisions. But otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, to comment, to share, and to subscribe, and to most importantly, turn on the notification bell to know when my next video will be. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.